Okay, welcome everybody to another AMP Social Masterclass. We're doing some video prospecting today. A lot of you asked for it, so we're here. I have two special guests that are reps in the field because you'll give me some feedback and say, "Hey, where the reps at?" So I brought some people that are actually in the field. They'll be showing their live video examples. They'll be going through exactly how to do this. And then I'm obviously going to go through like how you can do this as well, right? So I'm just super excited to dive in this with y'all today. We're going to get very tactical as we always do, but obviously we'll do some quick housekeeping and then we'll dive right into it. And as people come in here, I just want to make sure everybody is good. So in the chat below on the bottom right, you'll see two. Change that to everybody so we can hear you and go from there. So let us know where you're tuning in from, where you're at. It's always good to see and hear where people are at, where they're tuning in from, and what's going on. And let's dig in. And so if everyone's excited today, I got the DJ horn here as well. Like we're lit. So I just came back from Japan and I'm excited to be back. So let's just see where everyone's at. So we got Italy in the house, we got Florida, South Carolina, New York, we got Atlanta, Arizona. Oh, shout out to Arizona. We got Arizona in the house. That's where I live now. But shout out to Atlanta. That's home. Then got St. Louis, got Detroit, got Canada. Shout out to India. India's always holding it down. Shout out to India. Got a like ATL today. Okay, here we go. All right, got Boise. Hey, look, shout out to ATL. I'm going back home soon, so shout out to ATL. Got London House. Awesome. So we got a lot of awesome people in the house. And again, I'm really excited for this session. There's a ton that we're going to dive into and that you can learn from. But the first question I want to start with before we go into what this is about and what we're going to do is should I move back to Atlanta? Jim, no. Atlanta's crazy. The traffic is absurd. You know that. It's too crazy for me. Fix the traffic, I might come back. Probably not, but the traffic's too crazy. That alone is just too much stress on my life. OTP is still traffic. It's traffic anywhere you go. So, anyways, to start here though, thank you to everybody for showing up. Excited that y'all are here. And my first question to y'all as we get into this is, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your video prospecting skills? 1 being a complete novice, I've never done it or I don't know what to do. 5 being the most elite person of all time with video prospecting. I just want to see where everyone's at. It's funny. We'll see. Okay, so we got mostly threes. It's pretty good. Got mostly threes here. So what we're going to be talking about today, right, is how do you actually do video prospecting? We're going to hear from two live reps here today, and I'm just super excited to get them in the mix because they've taken what I've talked about and taken it to a whole new level. And we're going to talk about even if you're in a tough market selling to data, IT, cybersecurity, whatever it is, how to actually break through. So, with that being said, if you don't know me at all, my name is Morgan Ingram, and I have a company that I own called AMP Social. Our main commitment and focus is to help make elite sales simple, human, and scalable with Slow at its core. And we go into B2B organizations and help them with selling, social selling as a foundation, and help them with innovative outbound to break into their target accounts from SDR teams to AE teams and also CSMs as well. So today you're going to get a snippet of what I typically work with clients on. Normally it's a longer program, but you're getting a quick snippet and you're going to hear from the people who actually have seen results in this. So y'all should be pretty fired up. And here, so I know y'all gonna ask me this question. This is like the most frequent question I get. Is you will get the recording. All right, you're gonna get the recording. I know someone's gonna follow up and be like, "Hey, Morgan, where's the recording at? Is this recorded?" Like this is recorded, so you're good. You don't have to fret if you gotta leave for another meeting. Cool. Like you will get the recording. It's 100% gonna be okay. I promise you. Like, please do not freak out. All right, you will get the recording. And so as we dive into this, though, let's talk about what you're going to learn. So there's 3 things that you should walk away with today that you will learn. 1, how to structure the video that gets watched and replies, how to personalize video messages without spending hours, and then how to be comfortable and confident on video. And here's just an overall data snapshot on why video works. I'm not here to go too deep into this. This is just an example of like, hey, this is why video works and why you should pay attention to it and how you can get the best out of it. Just as an example, as you see here. As we go into these tips, just to give you all context on like where I'm coming from on how to actually do these videos, is I have done over 10,000 video prospecting videos. I have the receipt somewhere in like video, but I've done over 10,000. I have also as well used this to be the highest, one of the highest performing SDRs at a company that I used to work at, and I've also used this for companies I've trained for like Salesforce, HubSpot, Google, etc., for them to break into their target accounts. So everything I'm going to talk about today is coming from that experience, and this is how I actually go about it. And so as we go into these first tips, anyone who has questions, make sure to put them in the Q&A, by the way, because they might get lost in the chat sometimes. But Frederick, I see your question, so I'll answer in a minute. But I want to go over these 5 tips. So my question to you all first is, when you are going to do a video, what is the number one reason that you don't send the video? Zach, come on. Zach, I feel like you're great. Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. All right, y'all are cracking me up. All right, so I think Karen's one is probably the biggest one, is perfection. I think that's probably number one for a lot of people. I feel that. Activation energy. Okay. Don't know what to say. That's a big one. Face, y'all are killing me with this face for real stuff. I feel bland, don't really know how, takes too long, too many retakes. I don't blink enough. I need to make the script bland. How do I frame it? Cool. So like the top ones is like perfection. I don't know what to say, or takes too long. Which David, actually, that's a good point. Takes too long compared to ripping calls for sure. Like my number one conversion, and every time that I was a sales rep, obviously I'm in business now, so it's different. But when I was a sales rep, was cold calling. I loved it more than actually the videos. But I'm gonna break down a couple things for you all that make you feel a little bit more comfortable to do it and how to do this. Now, I think what happens is that most people, when they think about videos, that you have to be like Mr. Beast or this amazing theatrical person, and like that isn't the case. Like you can convey your value very easily by not doing those things. Like you don't need to, excuse me, you don't need to at the end of the day do all that. Like that isn't necessary for you to have this amazing presence. Just think of it as you are communicating with somebody in person. But another great way to think about video is a virtual handshake or just a live cold call where it's just your face. You can take exactly what you said on a cold call and do it on a video. So for all of you like, hey, I don't know what to say, you're probably good or decent at cold calling. So if you just take what you said on a cold call and you put it in a video, it's the same exact thing. So a lot of people that I work with that are reps, they get really good at video because they just change their mindset and how they're thinking about it. This is just a virtual handshake. This is just me just showing my face. And this is just a cold call that just happens to be live. So when you reframe it towards that, it will make it easier for you to do these videos. I just want to set that reframe before we get tactical. So, what are the 5 tips for recording videos? Because this is like the things I frequently get asked. So this is important. Number one is smile. Y'all, this is I'm laughing because this is so important. Most people, when they do a video, they look like they're being interrogated. They look like someone took them hostage and they like arrested them. That's not That's not going to get you replies if you look like you've been taken hostage. So make sure that you look approachable and smile in these videos. Second point is facing a natural light or having good audio. Now, you don't need to have this setup that I have. This is not required. This is what I do on a day to day basis. So obviously, at the end of the day, this is why I have this. But you just want to make sure that you look approachable and you look reasonable. Third thing is standing makes the video sound better. So I don't know if some of you that are threes, you probably have been doing this. I've found that when I do videos standing up, they are better than the ones when I'm sitting down. That's because it obviously opens up the diaphragm, opens my vocals, but also it makes you feel like you're talking to a person. So it's a lot easier for you to do that. Another one is whether you use like a Loom or a SynSpark or things of that nature, that's completely fine. I'm not against that, but I always recommend for people to do the video on your iPhone to start, or Android if you got it, but I don't know about the Android users. But for iPhone, that you want to start here. The reason iPhone's really good is if we actually correlate and look at like video messaging through LinkedIn, that is the best way to convert overall opportunities is by doing the video on your iPhone to start. It's more natural, it's more human, it's easier to do. Now, for some of you that are like, I feel like I need perfection and I need this to be perfect, the easiest way to avoid that is to not look at yourself when you record. So, what I mean by that is when you record on your phone, look at the camera, not at yourself. So, I'll say that again. You want to look at the camera lens and not at yourself because that's going to make you feel like you're talking to that person rather than I'm looking at myself record. Which to a degree, yeah, it's cringe. I got to watch my own videos when I review them and I'm like, what am I saying? I get that. I've been there. I understand that. What I'm telling you though is if you look at the camera lens when you record it, it will be way better for you when you do that. So yeah, front camera. Now, again, these are just different ways of how to go about it. So I see some questions coming in. And let me get to them because these are very quick ones. So yeah, front camera. So I'm like looking at this, and it's like the front camera here. You want to look directly at the camera on your phone, or in this case, like my camera's right here. So I look straight at the camera. I have more confidence. I'm clearly directing it instead of looking at myself. And then to answer your questions, I do 80% of the videos I do are through LinkedIn because I know there's 100% deliverability rate and there's higher engagement there. I send videos on email for people who have already engaged with me. Makes it easier. I would say also too, how much research and personalization is needed. I'd say as long as you have a good observation point, you're set. So this kind of answers this answers your question, which is this is our AMP outbound observation framework. So you can follow this step by step. You can screenshot this, whatever. This is what we coach people on. If you follow these steps, this is how you get people to engage with you. And then you'll see some examples and I'll show you my live videos and then we'll bring out our people to talk to you that are reps that are actually doing this and they'll show you what to do. So this is the framework to follow, right? You're like, hey, how do we do this? Like this allows you to have confidence in what you're saying. So if we look at this kind of breaks it all down. So observation. What is the insight about the prospect that you want to reach out with? So, for those of you that are thinking about research and what do you look for, there are three levels of research there's company, personal, and persona. So, I'll give context on that. Company means, hey, they have hired new reps, they have had a product update, they've expanded their offices, they've increased their executive executives chairs or something like that. I'm just giving examples. Those are things that have happened in the company that you can use to bring up. So, hey, the reason for my videos, I saw you do that. I saw you did this thing, right? And now I'm going to reach out. So that's like an example. The personal is like, hey, I saw you post on LinkedIn. I saw you wrote this blog post. I saw you did an interview, whatever it is. And then the persona is, hey, I saw that you have these challenges and priorities. Based on these challenges and priorities, this is why to reach out to you. So the level of importance on that, or the level of, let's say, research or importance, is personal because it's about them personally. Then you would go to the company and then you would go to persona, right? Those are the three ways. So I saw someone's question, best icebreaker for videos. It's literally that, making an observation. Most people don't make an observation. Most of it's AI slop. Most of the messages that are in your inbox right now, they're not relevant to you. The bar is extremely low. And I believe for people that here that are founders or executives, you can let us know in the chat. you can let us know like when's the last time you responded to a message in the last 6 months. And it's not because it's like, oh, I'm not interested. Most of the time it's just like it's just not even relevant. Like it's just not even a good message. So for anyone in there that's a leader or makes decisions, you can answer this in the chat for us. Like you probably in the last 6 months probably don't have as many responses because the AI slop, right, has increased, which is why we're here talking about video. So the bar is really low. As long as you make an observation, I'm not saying you have a 100% reply rate, but people will appreciate it because this isn't happening, right? So that's why I'm telling people that's why you want to dive into that. Hey, shout out to that. You're looking out for the people. So another piece of this is context. So once you make the observation, you add context to the observation on what you made. So if you saw that they did a post, why is that important? Then you bring up a pain point, you highlight what is the consequence of the thing. Then you go into the solution, which is like how you actually can help, and then a CTA. So if you were to see this in real time, this is called the 10-30-10 framework of what we build off of. And then we'll go a little bit deeper into this, and I'll show you some live examples, and then we'll go into some other people and how they do this too. So why do I have the 10-30-10? Every time you send a video, I want you all to envision that you're basically setting up a movie trailer. So I don't know how many of y'all have ever, or movie trailers that you've watched, you can let us know, like, your favorite one in the chat. But essentially, when you think about video prospecting, you want them to be a movie trailer and you want this to be less than 50 seconds when you actually reach out to somebody. Less than 50 seconds. And so that's why you see here the first 10 seconds are stating the reason for the actual video. The 30 seconds is the value prop that you have. And the last 10 seconds is some level of call to action. If you follow these steps within the framework that we just mentioned, this is how you get more people to respond to these videos, right? By following it and keeping it less than 50 seconds. Now, I do have some videos that may go over a little bit, but I know that if I keep within this framework of stating the reason for the video, giving my value prop, and having some level of a call to action, I know I'm going to get more engagement and more responses as a whole based on the people that I'm looking to reach out to and the results that I'm looking to get. So, everybody, you should be thinking about how do I create movie trailer like prospecting videos? And so, with that being said, let's actually show some videos. So, I'm going to show you 4 videos that I've done that have all led to some level of response. Not all of them led to a closed deal, but you'll see that there are different ways of approaching it. And then you on the chat can give me feedback or whatever, but you can see how to do this. And again, context. I started off terrible with videos. I have to find my first video I did on Facebook. It's like the worst video ever. It's like me in a car with a mohawk. I don't know why I had a mohawk back then. I had a mohawk and I have like some chain on that I should not. I don't even know what I was doing. Anyways, your first videos are not going to be great, but the goal is just doing it to get better over time. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in. I'm going to show you some videos, and then we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to knock these out here and do this. So people are asking about editing. Y'all, you're going to watch this. I don't edit any of these videos. So I've shown this video. I did this video a long time ago. The only reason I'm sharing it is because of what I did. It's actually really important to see this one because of what I did here. A lot of you are looking for perfection, and this will like alleviate your perfection because of what I did here. And also as well, I I genuinely think that a lot of people should not worry about editing. A lot of people are asking this. Don't worry about that because people just want a human approach. So just send the video. You're gonna see right here, like this is no editing involved. Like I can edit videos. I know how to do that, but you don't have to actually do that, right? Don't let your editing stop you from doing this, right? It would derail you from what you're trying to accomplish. So, anyways, let's dive into it. Let's make sure we can hear the video first, and you can let me know if you hear it.
Hi, Adriana.
Can y'all hear the video? Let me know in the chat. Can y'all hear it? Cool, 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 cool. Hey, we lit. All right, cool. I'll run it back, and I'll show y'all what happened here. All right. Classic network error from LinkedIn. What is going on? Hold on, hold on, hold on. What are we doing? I swear, LinkedIn, every time I try to use it, it's like, nah, not today. All right, so as we load it up, the whole thing you'll see here, and you'll be able to call it out. You'll see the mistake that I actually made, but I actually kept it in the video because I was like, I think that this is gonna still be important at the end of the day. But I see some stuff coming in as we fix this crease here. Uh, Good question, Jacob. That don't have a big LinkedIn presence. I still send it. Here's why: because people still lurk a lot. They still lurk a lot, even though they don't have a lot of presence. They may still be lurking. Like there's platforms where I haven't posted anything, but I lurk a good bit, right? They be lurking, so they still at the end of the day might engage with you. But even if they don't engage with you, that's still okay and that's still fine because we do know at the end of the day they might come back via like email or something like that, and we've seen that too.
Hi, Adriana. The reason for my video is I was on your website and I noticed that you all hiring SDRs. Now, in that SDR role, one of the responsibilities was making sure that you had the right outbound calls, outbound emails, and doing the right social selling. And so, as a priority to make sure that you can improve ramp time for these individuals, we provide skills training for these SDRs from a remote standpoint to give them the tools, structure, and skills that they need to get results immediately out of boot camp based on your proven best practices that you're already implementing inside your organization, just to give those reps an extra lift. So if you're interested in any way, let me know if you're open to learning more about how we do that and looking forward to your response. Thanks, Adriana.
All right, y'all. So I showed y'all this video. First of all, I said the name wrong. Like, that's not good. And then at the end, I don't know why. I just couldn't say either way. I don't know what was going on. I'm showing you this video to show you, even though I've done a lot of these, the mistakes still occur. You don't need a perfect video. You just need to do the video and at least be relevant. So my hope is that based on what y'all saw there, you don't need it to be perfect and amazing. It's just about executing and doing it from there. And I got some questions around file size and things of that nature. Again, nothing to worry about. You create the video on your phone, right? You make the video on your iPhone. As long as you're first degree connected to the person, you can upload it directly to them and they can see it. So if you just focus on making it on your iPhone, you don't have to edit it. I did this on my iPhone, chilling, and I sent that video, and that's what led into this response, right? So this led in response, this led into a meeting here. And so that's like an example,
Hi,
right, of
Adriana.
what you can do, right? So far, is that video helpful to give people a vision on like how to do it? Let me know. We're gonna show another one, but I'll make sure that that was helpful because we got more videos to share. But I'll make sure that was actually helpful there. So when you're thinking about the video, that's the way that you really want to like look at it, right? You don't want to like it doesn't have to be um overwhelming. But let's go to another one that I did, and this is a different approach. So this is one I reached out to Christian here um, as well. So see up here, I'll go back up to the top. Javier, this funny actually. That's like me. The funny thing is, that's actually me talking slower. I try my best. If I talk too slow, they're gonna go to sleep. But it's good feedback. But let's go into it.
Christian, reason for my videos.
Oh, hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, cool.
Christian, reason for my videos. First off, love Barcelona. Visited there last year, one of my favorite places. Anyways, I've been talking to a lot of sales leaders, and one thing they've been telling me is that their big obstacle is trying to find net new meetings in GDPR. So cold calling, absolutely hard. Cold emailing, we know that's difficult, and they're looking to shift to LinkedIn to optimize their outbound to get in front of the right people. And I'm curious if that's something that you've been working on, is maximizing that channel to get in front of the right people. Christian,
All
reason for
right,
my
cool.
video.
So notice what I did on this one. Notice what I did a little bit differently on this one. I did an observation and then I just asked the question. You don't always have to go into a meeting. This is very, very important because everyone's like meeting, 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 meeting. I just asked the question. That led into a conversation that led into a meeting. The whole goal here is I'm planting seeds. I'm the gardener. I'm a farmer. I'm just out here planting seeds. I don't always have to go in for the meeting. So that's another way of doing it. Johnny Appleseed, yeah, Karen, I'm John. Hey, Morgan J. Appleseed. I just created a whole new name for myself. Morgan J. Appleseed. That's me. I'm planting seeds, and you can do the same. So these open-ended questions are a great way, Javier just said it, to make them think. And you got to ask a good question. Don't be like, what's your top 2026 goals? Like, that's not going to work. You got to ask a question that's relevant. Like, the question I asked was relevant to him, and he responded. This is a good way to start the engagement. 26 seconds, not that long, starts the conversation. We can open it up and I can show you, right? This led into this dialogue. And now we're going back and forth, right? And this led into a meeting. So notice I went from video to now going back and forth in here. So I'm just showing you like different ways on how to approach this. And for someone asking, yeah, this was the very first message I sent was this video. There was nothing else before this. This was just the first thing I sent was the video. I come in hot. We ain't playing around. So that's the way you want to look at it. Good question, Jacob. I think we were connected for about, that's a good question, maybe a week or two. I wait before I send a video. I don't send it immediately. I wait a bit. I might like some stuff, I might do some stuff. So I wait a bit before I do it. That's a good question though, but I'm pretty sure it was a couple weeks we were connected. I don't know the precise amount. Cool, I'll replay it for y'all real quick. Just give me a second.
Christian, reason for my videos. First off, love Barcelona. Visited there last year, one of my favorite places. Anyways, I've been talking to a lot of sales leaders, and one thing they've been telling me is that their big obstacle is trying to find net new meetings in GDPR. So cold calling, absolutely hard. Cold emailing, we know that's difficult, and they're looking to shift to LinkedIn to optimize their outbound to get in front of the right people. And I'm curious if that's something that you've been working on, is maximizing that channel to get in front of the right people. Christian, reason for my video.
Mark and Sarah, was that helpful, or do you need me to go back again? I can also replay it one more time if you need it, or anybody else does. But you see what I did there. How do you follow up if you don't get a response? Lucky it's over. No, I'm just kidding. The way I follow up is this real quick. So let's say, Lucky, I was sending you a video and you were like, yeah, I don't care about your video. Cool. I'll say, hey, hi, Lucky, any feedback on my video? So I'll do that. The reason for that is, and this is important because some people miss this point and they just revert back to bad. I want to say bad behavior. It's just a behavior I don't think that's best. Don't ask people their thoughts. I want you to think about this deep psychological reason. People have too many thoughts, so they'll have none for you. So don't ask people for their thoughts when you follow up. Don't say bubble us back up to the top because that's annoying. Don't say touching base and checking in because that's annoying. Those don't make sense. Psychologically, look, I always focus on how people respond and react to things. That's how I do everything around prospecting. It's not even about sales. It's just about how do people respond, how they react, and how they're conditioned to certain things. So those things don't make sense psychologically. But asking for feedback does, because what do people like to give feedback? Don't believe me? Think of Yelp. Think of G2. Think of Google reviews. People clearly love giving feedback. So if that is the case psychologically, I'm going to ask people for their feedback because they're more than willing to give it to me, whether it's positive, neutral, or negative. Because the best response in sales is just getting obviously a yes response, but the worst response in sales is getting no response. So that allows us to get a response. So Lucky, hopefully that helps. I'll play it one more time and then we'll get into the other reps because I want them to share as well.
Videos. First off, love Barcelona. Visited there last year, one of my favorite places. Anyways, I've been talking.
Oh my goodness. I swear LinkedIn is always up to no good with me. I swear, y'all, this is ridiculous. That's crazy. LinkedIn's wild. All right, hold. Okay, let's get it back.
Christian, reason for my videos.
Yo, I swear. Okay, here we go.
Christian, reason for my videos. First off, love Barcelona. Visited there last year, one of my favorite places. Anyways, I've been talking to a lot of sales leaders, and one thing they've been telling me is that their big obstacle is trying to find net new meetings in GDPR. So cold calling, absolutely hard. Cold emailing, we know that's difficult, and they're looking to shift to LinkedIn to optimize their outbound to get in front of the right people. And I'm curious if that's something that you've been working on, is maximizing that channel to get in front of the right people.
Cool. So that's
Christian,
the
reason
last
for my
replay. But again, you'll see again. Hopefully that was helpful for everybody to see what's going on. And if you want the messaging, here's what it is. Then we're gonna bring some other people up here to dive into their process. But here's like the way on how I do this messaging, so you can replicate this and use it. This is exactly our framework we have here as well on how to do it. Couple questions I see going in. Okay, yeah, like I said, you can upload it through the via mobile. You record on your phone. You can directly upload it into your mobile. If I were using an app to edit, I would use CapCut, but I don't think editing is necessary. Is this the best method if your BDSS has no social proof test? Yeah, 100%. This is how I started when I was an SDR, and like we were at a startup and we had 20 people, and I started doing video prospecting and it worked a lot. I think it shows a willingness of effort. Everyone right now is in a world of I need to automate, I need to AI, I need to have a 99,000 step AI automation cadence. If you take the time to actually make a video and be personal to someone, they'll actually take the time to actually respond to you because you took the time. Most people don't do it because it's unscalable and difficult. So that means that you should probably do it because it's difficult. Most people don't want to do things that are difficult, and that allows you to have a cutting edge. So that answers that question on, is this the best method if you have no social proof? This is the best method because people are going to obviously want to buy into you and trust you. And the best way to get trust is to show people what you're about and who you are. That's exactly what I would do, Leonard, based on what you asked. So again, this is the way that you would want to look at this, right? Here's the breakdown. Two things I want to say is, when you look at typically, that's a really good thing to say because it shows that you have done this before. And then if you say like not sure, then that's like, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you. That what we call that as a push pull. It's like, hey, I'm not sure, but then you're pushing towards like, but this is what it can help you with. So again, you can see how this all plays out. Couple of examples just so you can see. So again, you can see here when I say smile, here's an example of the smile. Here's an example right here of obviously getting a response and engagement. You can see someone who actually is doing it. Remember when I said, hey, any feedback? This again, all the things I talk about, it's not like, hey, I think it's cool. Like, no, it's just the stuff that works. So you see here, did a video, she followed with any feedback, got a response, right? You'll see right here. Again, the whole goal, right, is you want people to like thank you for this video. I was doing a workshop with a client and I said, pay attention to how people respond to you. When you do things that are thoughtful and not just scale McGee to this crazy degree, people are going to be like, oh, thanks for taking the time. Oh, that actually was good. Oh, that actually was like pretty legit, right? So you actually get really good responses from people because you actually took the time to do this. So last thing, we're about to bring up Mackenzie here to start. But I want to answer this quick question I saw from here because people are asking, does this work on other platforms? So my belief in social selling, it's not just LinkedIn. Obviously, that's where I mainly live, but this works on all the other platforms. So I've done this on IG. It does extremely well on IG. I tested out some stuff there. It does phenomenally well. It can work really well on Facebook. I've seen it work well there too, Meta, and also can work really well on X. So Jeff, I don't know what platform you're on, but any platform that allows you to send videos in the DM, you can do really well there. So that's also the piece as well. So we're gonna have some other people pull up. I see some questions coming in. We're gonna get to them, but I want to get to the reps. Mackenzie, if you want to come out now, you can now come on. And what Mackenzie's gonna do is she's gonna share what she's taken from the stuff that I've been talking about, how she's applied it to her role to get book a business. She's going to tell you what results she's seen from it, and she's going to walk you through her examples too. So I'm gonna get out of here, and Mackenzie, I'm gonna give you the mic and let you cook, and then I'll let you go from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Morgan. Hi, everyone. My name is Mackenzie. I work at a company called Bombora, and we sell B2B intent data. So the primary personas that I go after are marketing and sales leadership, as well as rev ops leadership. So obviously a little bit different depending on what persona I'm reaching out to. Someone in RevOps or maybe an analyst role is going to obviously be a little bit more technical, right? Than someone like in a marketing or a sales leadership role. But I started video prospecting a couple months ago. And I know, I'm sure everyone can agree, the email outbound prospecting cold is very challenging, right? It's there's usually really low open rates if you land in the right inbox, if you have the right email, and then the response rates I would say are also low, just like Morgan shared earlier. So I've done, oh gosh, a couple dozen videos. I'm probably not quite at 100 yet, but I'm definitely in the 10 multipliers. And my response rate has been way better than cold emailing. So without further ado, I'll show you an example. Forewarning, I've gotten better, but it's definitely a little cringe. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit, and then we can dissect it together. So I'm gonna hit play, and if someone in the chat can just let me know if you can hear, hopefully. Hi, Norbert. Cool. Okay.
Good.
I'm going
We're
to go
good.
ahead and
We're good.
awesome. I'm going to go ahead and hit play then. I paused at the perfect moment. Look at those eyes. Reaching out because I saw that Everseen recently increased their headcount for both sales and business development, which is awesome because it probably means that you all are making a huge impact in your new business sector. So, congrats on that. But with that comes the need to better target companies that are actively researching your products and services. And that's exactly what we help with at Bombora. We help you identify when accounts are increasing their research on not only your brand name, but your competitors' brand names and topics related to what you sell, so you can deliver relevant content and reach out appropriately to those accounts to solve a pain point while they're actively searching. Let me know if further conversation would be of interest. Cool. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So, uh, for the most part, right, I followed Morgan's framework. I said his name, I called out an observation, talked about what we could potentially help with. Obviously, right, there's room for improvement. I did get a response, which is great. I tried to smile. I definitely, as Morgan said, my first couple looked like I probably was being held hostage and forced against my will to explain to someone why they should talk to me on video. So I think starting with like a soft smile definitely helps make your videos look a little bit more personable. And obviously things I could improve on, right? I think I made an observation and then I kind of went straight into like, that's what we can help you with. Whereas I really like the question format a little bit better. And I've been doing that more. I did get a response, which is great, right? So it did work, but definitely, there's room for improvement. I think my biggest takeaways are, first, I think in the world, right, of AI and things like that, video, of course, is going to stand out. If you wouldn't say it in real life, or you wouldn't read it, or you personally wouldn't respond to it, don't send it. I think it's kind of like my kind of source of truth, whether that's video, email, voice note, cold call, whatever. No one wants to respond to like an AI robot or like AI slop, right? So same thing applies here, even though you're on video. My second biggest takeaway would be don't just, pitch slap them right. You want to actually personalize it, and make an observation that's relevant to their role. So the person I was reaching out to was in a revenue role. So the fact that they're growing their employee headcount in sales, new business growth, it makes direct sense. Like I wouldn't send that to like a technical role, right? They're like, I don't really care. That's not my team. Um, and then last but not least, I think I know a lot of people have asked, like, oh, do you just, connect with them, then immediately send it XYZ? Something I learned actually on a different webinar with Morgan was ask your own internal colleagues in that sector, like what has landed. And so that's what I've done recently more and more. And then also, like, my friends in the space who are in like a sales role or a marketing role, that I have, from college or what have you, like what resonates with them? Like they're in marketing, right? Like if I said this to you, would you care? And, I'm like, just be honest. If they say no, okay, how can I change that? So I'd say those are kind of my three biggest takeaways. Use not only your own expertise, but the people around you. You all have a network, even if you don't think you necessarily do, like if you're newer into your role, but it's pretty vast. So, yeah.
Before we bring the next person on, I want to ask a question to you, Mackenzie. Like when you schedule these meetings from video, have you noticed how much more different your discovery calls have been?
I would say so. Yes, yes, and I would say the reason being it's a warmer intro, and what I mean by that is like they've seen my face. I mean, kind of can tell my personality a little bit. Um, Usually, they're just more engaged because anyone can respond to an email. And I think the psychology behind the personal aspect is very strong. So yeah, for sure.
And then also as well, like I know a lot of people, and also if you'll have questions for Mackenzie, feel free to put them in the Q&A. We'll answer them at the end. My question to you is, as you've done more of the videos, what advice would you have for people that were like, "Hey, I'm nervous. I feel like I'm gonna be cringe. I feel like this isn't gonna work out." And then how over time have you gotten confidence to do this as a daily or weekly thing?
Totally. I think at first, honestly, as terrible as it sounds, like you just got to hit send. Your confidence will increase significantly once one person responds. I remember the first like message I saw back, I was like, oh God, what if they're like, get away from me? But like, really, at the end of the day, people are not going to be like that mean to you. I think everyone gets it. Like, they're in a business, right? Like, they probably have SDRs or sales reps that are doing the same exact activities at their company. So, like, if you don't send something completely irrelevant or weird, they're not going to be mean to you. And then I also would say, like, practice in the sense of, like, practice on a friend, practice on AI, practice on your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever that may, practice on your dog. But just get comfortable practicing. And then if you are like a little bit more of an outgoing personality, I think talking to people in real life, like even just like at a restaurant, if you're ordering a beer, whatever, just, hey man, how's it going? Whatever. But like having those you know, out in the wild conversations. I think unfortunately after COVID, that kind of was like a lost art. So as much as I'm like, oh, I don't know, really want to talk to more people at the end of the day, it does help.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, Mackenzie, thanks for sharing. Is there anything else you want to share before we get Traco in here?
No, take it away, Traco.
Okay, Mackenzie, thank you for your time. Chat, let's show her some love. Thanks for showing your videos. That's not you. You got the air horn. So appreciate you. And then Traco, let's get you live.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Cool. Traco, do an introduction
Okay.
of yourself. What exactly you're doing, company you work for, how has video prospecting helped you? If you got some results to share, I know you got some tactics. I'll let you cook from here.
Yeah, I'm a little unique, so a little bit different than Mackenzie. So I fell into this. I've been actually selling for I've been in the sales industry for like 12 years. But transitioned jobs to a different startup company that was needing a little bit of help back in January. And we didn't have any budget. So I was desperately looking for any way to try to get meetings with people. And then actually currently through 2025 have a couple of contracts with companies building out their entire business development program. So my process is a little bit different. I'm not selling to one particular role. So I noticed a handful of people talking about, hey, how many followers do you need to have? How many, um, like how big is your company on LinkedIn? The companies I've worked for have close to zero impact on LinkedIn. And then I've sold simultaneously three products at the same time while doing some contract work with different companies. So if you check me out on LinkedIn, you'll see I have two companies up there that I'm currently doing work for. And my full-time gig is with corporate traditions and then helping build out the business development for a fintech company that does procurement. So we mainly talk with finance leaders, procurement managers, and then accounts payable clerks. So those people are lurkers like crazy on LinkedIn. So the video I want to share is actually a video of a guy who I connected with. I think probably about 3 or 4 days later, I sent him a video, but had been talking with people in his sector that have been dealing with challenges from different conversations. We had a couple of clients that were working in the same industry he was in, and this took a lot. So I sent the video and there was a ton of follow-up involved to be able to get this guy on the phone. I think it took almost like 2 months to get him to agree to meet. But he kept responding to the messages after I sent that video message. And then when I hopped on the phone with him, it was really cool because he was like, I've he's like, he literally hopped on the phone and he said, you're the Wolf of Wall Street's friend. He's like, I've never seen or experienced anything like that. He's like, it was so cool. I've never replied to any outbound DM on LinkedIn ever before. And then he started quoting a couple of recent posts that I had posted about. And so talk about lurkers. They are checking your profile out. They are looking at your content and they love what you bring to the table. So let me try to, I'll share my screen and see. if y'all can hear everything. So can everybody see that? And then let's see if it will play with the audio.
No,
Can
no
you guys
audio.
hear?
I
No
can't hear
audio?
audio.
Okay, how do I do the audio again?
You should be
Do I
able
click the
to.
audio and then share?
Yeah, you should have like audio. Should say audio says should like share the audio. It should be on there.
Is it on the actual? Sorry, I should have done this one.
No, we're good. We're gonna solve it. We're gonna solve it.
Goodness. I need Mackenzie's help on this. Oh,
Share
share computer sound. Okay.
computer sound. It's over there.
Do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do
yeah.
do you do stereo or the mono? The stereo
Do
high
stereo. You should be
fidelity
fine.
stereo? Okay, let's check this out. All right, and what yeah, sorry. I'll be the first to say too, Morgan, I've been saying this since I first started, you and I started first interacting. My wife and my mom have told me my entire life I'm good at two things, talking to people and not knowing when to shut up. So I have a tendency to ramble way too long on these. So full
Oh, we
disclosure
got a
here.
yapper here. We got a
Yeah,
yapper.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
All
let's
right, let's
see.
get into it.
Hey, Giuseppe.
Can
We're
you hear?
good. We're good.
Okay.
Chat, we're
Okay.
good.
All right.
Chat, you all good? I can hear. Let's make sure we're good. All right, cool. We're good. We're good.
Okay. Okay. All right. Playing.
Hey, Giuseppe. Appreciate the connection. I hope this intro message feels a little bit different. Would love to get your feedback either way. Congrats on I'm just on your LinkedIn page here, and congrats on that eCornell leadership certificate that you got. That's pretty cool. Real reason I wanted to reach out and connect. It's my job just to let you know that Veruzi exists. I work with finance leaders that are tired of constantly going back and forth through email chains or looping back and forth trying to get spend visibility into what they're buying and how much, and just outdated information that's 2 to 3 months behind. With Veruzi, we're a mobile first AI powered full procure to pay platform that actually has spend analytics all the way down to the line item and gets POs and invoices and goods receipts all matched across, so we can get you more visibility without requiring any employee training, and then drive down your tech stack cost. So would love to share a little bit more. Let me know if you're open to a quick conversation, if only just a network and connect, but hope you have a wonderful day.
All right. So one of the things I always like to, yeah, as you can tell, I like to go on. You can also hear my kids in the background. I think literally at that time they were using the ramp to the stairs as a launch pad for their monster trucks that was smashing into the wall right behind my desk. Um, what I've realized is it's like people, they love authenticity and they love being real. So whenever I start a video, I've tested it with wearing like a collared shirt and looking super professional. And I've tested it with wearing just a normal shirt and a hat, like in that video. And my normal clothes actually have a higher response rate and reply rate than when I dress up in like business clothes. I also have had a higher response rate. I'm like terribly ADD, ADHD, so I'm like bouncing all over the place. You could probably see in that video as I was as I was feeling um or as I was filming it. And people, I've realized in my decade plus of doing different sales is that the more authentic you are and the more real, lean into like what Mackenzie was saying, lean into your stutters or lean into those awkward pauses intentionally when I'm on the phone with somebody and I've made thousands of cold calls. If I can tell they're getting frustrated, I'll start to stutter on purpose to calm their emotions down and give me a couple of minutes on the phone. And I'll do the same thing on videos. I do the same thing because it makes you come across as being more authentic and more real, which leads to more replies. And that reply, like I said, that guy was awesome to talk to. He wasn't the actual decision maker, but he had a meeting with him for about an hour, and he just told me every person in the company and told me exactly what their title was and what they're dealing with and how to connect with them to land meetings. And it's been a really cool experience. One thing that I would recommend that I would bring up is I've gotten better. I just looked when Mackenzie said how many video messages she sent out. I've actually sent, and I tally them. I have a, oh, you can't see it, but I tally them on replies, responses, everything. And for all of the different products that I sell too. So I've sent a total of 288 video messages. 57 of them have replied. So that's a 20% reply rate, which is, I'd rather do video messages all day long than sit on the phone and hear that dial tone all day. And then out of those 57 replies, I've had 19 of them agree to meetings, which is a 33% booked meeting rate. And if I can just tap on a couple of things that I've noticed that have led to more results is I try to always ask open-ended questions. I don't do a lot of research to like really nail down everything. I just try to talk about, hey, what are the actual real pain points these people are trying to solve in all of the different ICPs I'm selling to? So with finance and procurement leaders, it's like, hey, fragmented systems, they're spending so much money, they're cost focused, cost centric. So if I can tell them like, hey, they're tired of spending extra money and they want more spend visibility, if that sounds a little bit like your world, would love to chat. And that typically leads, but I have realized if I lead right at the very beginning of the video by saying, hey, Morgan, appreciate the connection. Uh, would love your feedback. I hope this video feels a little bit different than your traditional outreach messages. Would love your feedback either way. And if I lead with that right at the beginning before jumping into everything, people like what Morgan said, they want to share their feedback. And it's incredible seeing the positive responses. It's actually empowering versus you just feel like a robot and people actually want to talk to you. They don't want to push you off to the edges because you're being different. So, yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Draco. Yeah, it's like I told y'all, we're bringing people who are locked in. We're not bringing like he's got. I mean, the fact that you're writing them down and on
I
the
track them in
notepad,
groups.
you're
Yeah, I
locked
track
in.
them. I track them in groups of about 100. So every 100 new messages I send. So that's why I had to do a new addition because I'm not at my second or my third 100 yet. So we're getting there.
Hey, come hit the 100 club.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Hit the 10,000 club. That's when you're locked in. Locked in.
Yeah.
No, but these are amazing results. I'm glad that you got opportunity to share. And as we have 6 minutes left here, Mackenzie, if you want to come back on, how can people find you both? And then as you are asking questions, put them in the Q&A. We'll spend the next 6 minutes answering them. I see the main question coming here. I'll answer that one real quick as they say where they can be found. But where can people find you?
While Mackenzie's getting off mute, I'm LinkedIn. My name's Traco Ross. Guaranteed I'll be the only one that comes up. If you ever find another Traco, please let me know. I'd love an intro. I've spent 32 years of my life being the only Traco.
I love that. Likewise, LinkedIn is probably my easiest way to find me. Yeah, and happy to connect with anybody.
Awesome. Ariel, so we got some questions coming in. I'll quick fire two because of what people are asking. People are saying, "Hey, how can I track if it's through sales now?" So the thing is, if you send a message through the regular LinkedIn, if you build a lead list of people that you're going after, it will tell you if the person responds on regular LinkedIn, the platform, just so you know. And you can go back and actually look at that. So if you're looking for that, that's actually something that you could do. The second thing I would say is yes, Lily, you can see results via email. But what I do is I like to call it a heat trigger is what I call it. So Lily, I don't know if you're using like a outreach or sales off or Apollo or whatever you're using. But what I did with my team and what I recommend clients to do is when you send out your emails, typically an email might get over like 2 or 3 views. So then we call that basically a heat trigger. And so then we send them a personalized video via email because we know that they're engaged. I would not recommend sending a LinkedIn. I'm sorry. I wouldn't recommend sending an email video to somebody on the first touch because it's just going to go to spam. It's going to waste your time. So that's what I would say there. Okay, so we got some other questions coming in. And so this is for both of you from Lucky. I think this is a good question. How much touch points after your initial video if no response? Where do you draw the line?
For
Personally,
me, oh, go ahead, Mackenzie. Sorry.
no, you're good. I was going to say, personally, for me, I think max three, including your video. Other, like more than that, you're just annoying them. I typically stick honestly to two. Um, but it depends if they've opened the message, etc. Like if they have those indicators on. If I see they haven't, then I stick to two. If I see they have, maybe watch the video, then I'll do three. But I feel like more than three, it's too much.
Yeah, I would throw in definitely 2 to 3, right around like the 3 to 4 week or like 6 week time frame. A little bit more if you get past that, but also engage on their content, like set notifications. One hack that I've actually found that's really, really useful is if every morning I go to the connections on my mobile app of LinkedIn, hit the connections tab, and then hit catch up. And a lot of the times, those prospects will have job changes or it's their birthday. One of the, I've sent probably like 6 or 7 messages to this lady, and her birthday was like 2 weeks ago. And I just said the auto wishing you a happy birthday that LinkedIn creates. And then we started contacting, or she was like, thank you so much. And I said, hey, can we get a meeting? And she's like, yeah, let's do a meeting. And it took, I mean, that's been like 3 to 4 months.
No, it's good. I love that story. And then people are asking, okay, cool. They're asking if it was two, if all of them are videos, by the way. So I don't know if y'all have, I'm assuming they're not though. Not all the connects are videos.
No, I do video and then I ask for feedback. So so I say, here's the exact framework I use is here's a quick video. Hi, Morgan, for example. Here's a quick video with a short video, sorry, with a quick question, dot, 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 send the video. If I don't get anything, then I say, hey, Morgan, any feedback on my video, question mark. And then if I send a third, I say something like would love, I don't know, I pick a different word than feedback on what I sent. All good if now's not the time or something like that. And then I move on.
Anything
That's
with your
great. I do
okay.
I do very, very similar. I mean, I just say, hey, would love to get your feedback. I hope it felt different. That's what I say for my second message.
I
And
like
then
that.
I'll do like, does this sound a little bit like your world? And that's typically about a week to 10 days later. And then at the very end, I'll just say, Morgan, you actually gave me this one and it's led to a lot of results. I just say name, any feedback on a connection. If this inbox is too crowded, shoot me your email and we can book a time there. And that has actually led to a couple of replies with emails. So I kudos to you. You gave that to me like 2 months ago. It was money.
Yeah, shout out to that one because I've realized that some people their the LinkedIn inbox could be like just slop, and they'll give you like, hey, okay, just send this to me here, and then here's the subject line, and we go from there. So good shot on that one. As we have a minute left, okay, so I see this combination of this question, and I'm curious from you all on this too. A lot of people are asking, hey, like I sell to C-suite of manufacturing. I sell to IT and cyber. So I'm gonna give you all. I've trained. My team did the math the other day. It's like 500. It's like 500,000 people, like or something crazy that our trainer coach something. We did the math. We like kind of did. It was a crazy number. And so I'm giving you this context on a lot of people I've talked to in sales that have sold to every single persona in the entire earth. I will tell you from the CISOs that are super technical to whatever industry it is, the format and the framework that I gave you, it truly does not change. The only thing that actually changes is the context and the results that you have in your space, which I inherently personally I don't know what you have, but that's what you have to dive into is like how are you unique in your space, but nothing actually inherently changes to who you talk to. And I'll give you this insight as well, Nicholas, too, which this still shocks me. The VP of sales of sales solution at LinkedIn, guess how many videos this person has received? You want to guess?
3.
Okay, three. Mackenzie, what do you think it is?
One.
Zero.
Everybody send them one.
Zero. She's received zero videos. So again, it doesn't matter who it is because they've got nothing. So it doesn't matter how, I mean, again, we want it to be good. We showed you today how to be good. But the thing is, they've gotten zero. She's gotten zero video messages. She gets 100 to 200 sales messages per day on LinkedIn alone. I don't even care. I don't even know what her inbox is. It's even crazier than that. I'm telling you it's zero. So if I'm telling you that's zero, imagine all the C suites that are also zero. So my whole premise point is you just need to show up because no one else is showing up. That's my whole entire thing that I would tell you. Unless you two think differently, but I'm just telling you, no one's even doing it. So the bar again is so low. You just need to jump. That's it.
And I would echo that. It's like, don't overthink it. I think you said, Morgan, back in like a webinar I attended where I first learned this back in like March or something. And it's like, hey, if it takes me longer than 1 to 2 times to record, 2 to 3 times, I just send on whatever the last one is. And that's what I do. That's my rule of thumb. Is if it
Yep.
takes longer than one message, and if I mess up, I just do one more and I push send and I say, hey, this one's for the birds. And I just send it and then just keep moving on, keep rolling.
Likewise. Stuttering and all, as you all heard today. There's definitely some brain glitches going on, but I'm like, whatever.
Exactly. So, y'all, I hope that this was helpful for everybody in the chat. Hopefully, you got point 0.5 better. That's really my goal, and that you now have some confidence and comfortability to go execute. Shout out to the two surprise guests we had here today that took time out of their day from selling and making money to be here. So give you all a round of applause for just being here and just giving people some perspective on like what to do. And we hope to see you all on the next masterclass that we have. So hopefully y'all have a blessed rest of your day and that y'all have a good one. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everybody.